How do you pause it? Okay. I'm a little early, so I'm gonna set everything up here. I don't think it's 9 o'clock yet. Start recording. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. I started accidentally. I don't do these lives often. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait here for a little bit. I jumped the gun. I haven't done a live in a long time, so bear with me. Hey, hi man, how's it going, man? I just got back from the store. I was rushing though, and I accidentally started this thing at too early, but I'll wait a little bit to see who shows up. In the meantime, I could get some more drinks. Look what I found that I might use the bugs. I'm taking it just in case. All right, so it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and get started anyway. I think it. I'm also recording on the side camera, so I can go. Like if you missed the first part, second part, you can go back and watch the video once I edit. But yeah, Saturday I'm gonna be fishing the Yakmaster tournament. It's a redfish tournament. Yakmasters started doing bass tournaments every month, and last month they did a redfish tournament that I entered, and then this month, which is Saturday, is gonna be the second redfish tournament. I think I saw that there's 20 anglers already registered, and usually the last minute we get over 20. Last time I think there was like maybe 17, 18 anglers. Once it goes over 20 um, anglers, they pay first and second. Again, this is Yakmasters Redfish Tournament. They had hey, how's it going? So I'm gonna go. I entered last month's tournament, the Yakmaster Redfish Tournament. That was the very first time I've done a tournament in a long time. But what happened there, I found some fish. I pre-fished the week before, and I found some nice redfish. But the thing that happened is, the night before the tournament, on Friday night, we had some heavy thunderstorms. So when I got to my spot Saturday morning, I couldn't get to it because it was too muddy. So what I did is I had to go somewhere else, which I still caught some redfish, but they were under 20. Okay, for this tournament, it's the three longest redfish between 20 to 28 inches, and we use the Tourney X app. And the ones that are doing the tournament is Kayak Masters. So they're all over Facebook. So if you want to enter, you still got a chance. Saturday, you can fish all over the Texas coast as long as it's saltwater. And Yak Masters. So go on Facebook, search Yak Masters. You still have a chance to enter. It's $60 to enter and $10 for a big bass. I mean, sorry, big redfish pot. So, uh, again, so what I'm gonna do today, like I haven't really done lives in a long time. I have this setup back here. I did it when I first started my channel. It was more into music, and my daughter gave me all those things. So I haven't been here like about 2, 3 years. So I'm gonna start trying to do lives every Thursday night or Friday night and let y'all know where I'm gonna go fish and what my strategy is gonna be. Okay, so I'll start with Saturday morning. We can start fishing at 6. I've never started fishing that early, and I was looking outside today, and it's pretty dark. So I used to always start off with a black and red topwater lure. It used to be the ones from the Top Dog and the She Dogs, and it was a black one with a red head, but they don't make those anymore. So I had a local guy, RC Customs, RC Custom Baits, Richard Carmona. I'm down here in the Rio Grande Valley. I told him to make me some black topwaters with the red head. So he made me, this one is the peanut, and this one is the spook. And then he also made me two of the hunchbacks. And one of the hunchbacks, a big speckled trout at Poor Mansfield, just took off with it. So I'm just left with these topwaters right here. RC Customs down here in the valley, Richard Carmona. He made me these. Okay, so I'm gonna start off. It's gonna be pitch black, and there's not gonna be a moon. It's gonna be dark. So I'm gonna start throwing these. One makes a lower pitch and one makes a higher pitch. So I'm gonna start these right away at 6 in the morning. It gets light maybe at 7. Now I'm getting older, so sometimes, you know, your arms, your wrist starts working from, they start hurting from working the lure, walk the dog. So then, once my wrists get tired, I'm gonna go with this one right here. This one was made by Kevin Vada out of, he's down here in the valley, Texas Customs. And there's the hunchback. I told him, make me an all black with some reds in the red in the eyes. That's what I'm gonna go with. It's once I get tired of the walking the dog, I'm gonna go with this one. Look him up, Texas Coastal Baits, I believe is the name, Kevin Vada. He made this one for me. Okay, that's the first thing in the morning. Once the sun comes up, I'm gonna get off the black. Unless they're destroying it, I'll stay on it. But once the sun comes up and it gets lighter, same guy, Kevin Vada, made me this one that I've been doing really good on this one right here. I had to already change the hooks 2 times. I tell him, make me a bone one for once the sun's up. So this one, I've been lots of luck with this one. I've been killing it on the reds on this one. Okay, I'll go with this one next. And I have other 2 options that he made me. One local guy is doing real good with this. Same person made this one. Guy is doing real good with this one. And then I have this one in the candy apple. Same person, Texas Coastal Baits. Those I'll have in the background. Okay, once I'm gonna stay with the wig bait as long as I have followers. If I don't have any followers, I'll switch over to my next plan. Now, when you're doing a tournament, you just want to stick with the plan. I chose 4 different items that I'm gonna stay with, and I'm just gonna stay like that with the whole day. I'm not taking all, you know how we have a bunch of baits, paddle tails, straight tails, everything. But this time I'm just gonna concentrate on these certain lures. After the topwater bright, once I don't see any more followers and it starts slacking off, there's an area where I've been hitting, there's some tailing reds, and we're talking about a foot of water, less than a foot of water. So I went ahead and bought these today, the gulp, the curly tail, I think they're called the swimming mullet. And then I went ahead and got these shrimps. I don't usually use gulp too much. I used to always just use gulps when they first came out, the new penny shrimp. But I was looking at some footage of the Yakmasters Elite when they were doing the Redfish tournaments. I guess they're the Redfish Elite. And all of them had gulps in their boats. I mean, they're competing for big money, so there's still something in these gulps. So I'm going to go ahead and do this after my hard baits, the action falls off. I see a tailing redfish. This is going to be a stealthier approach, right? This one here, and then this one here. Okay, and I'll do that. Now another option I have is the paddle tails. I go with a basic hoagie. I like a white and a chartreuse tail, because where I'm fishing, it's clear water. I'm fishing down here in South Padre Island, Port Isabel area, and the area that I fish is clear water. So I'm using lighter colors. Okay, so I'll go with a paddle tail. This is the hoagie. I love these, and I'll use that. Okay, then the final thing that I'll use is the gold spoon. Now a lot of people's on that tournament, we're using a gold spoon throughout the day. And I used to use the gold spoon. I've caught reds on it, but it's always on the back burner. I usually am trying out other baits, but you can't go wrong with a spoon. I think this is a half ounce. You could work it fast. You could work it slow. Where I'm fishing, there's a lot of grass, uh, so the weed guard helps out on this. Now, once the wind, if it starts getting windy, I'll go with the popping corks. Okay, popping corks. This is the old beat up FP Fred Petty popper with jig head. I think it's a 1/16 jig head. This thing is also a killer. You know, once you're tired of casting all day, I tie on a popping cork and work over the grass. I like working like a little deeper water, maybe 3 feet. And again, where I'm working, it's really, really clear water. Really clear water. I'll probably tie a gulp on that one. This is a shrimp gulp on here. I'll do that combination. Now, I want to experiment with this right here. I found this worm here, and I'm gonna rig it. It's the stick bait. I mean, it's not really for redfish, but I'm gonna rig this one without a weight, without a jig head. It's just a weedless green pumpkin, I think it's called, green pumpkin 5-inch, and with a big loud popping cork. This is later on when it's kind of windy. I'll tie on this big popping cork for distance, and then this lure will just glide down head first. I've never tried it for redfish, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. It's something they haven't seen much around here. And anytime I go fishing, I take a tackle box full of stuff. My Z-Mans. I like fishing with AM lures. And another thing I will take with me that I don't use too much is down south lures. These down south lures, I've seen people have a lot of good good action with them. I do like them because the tails. I have two sizes. I have the smaller version and a little bit longer version. Okay. I will probably use these at the end if nothing else is working. But I'm just gonna stick to those. First thing in the morning, allowed in the black. There's not gonna be a moon. The moon is gonna be set already, and it's gonna be 6 in the morning. There's no lights where I'm going. It's gonna be pitch black. So I want something that's gonna make a lot of noise, and the black should make a good silhouette for the fish. After that, once the sun comes up, I'll go with my lighter color weight baits. This one right here, or this banana one. And I'll stick to them as long as I'm catching fish. All I need is 3 redfish from 20 to 28. We're using an app called TourneyX. Look that up, TourneyX. Register if you want to. And right there, you take the photo. You take a picture of your fish and submit it on the app. Everything's on the app. You just send it on the app, and the app is the one that calls for you. If you catch 4 or 5 redfish, which I'm planning to do, it automatically takes your 3 biggest redfish. Okay, so again, this is Saturday morning Yakmaster tournament. They've been doing bass tournaments. This last one they had I'm thinking over 30 contestants, and they paid first, second, and third place plus a big pot, big fish. So I think there's 20 already on this redfish tournament, and you can fish anywhere along the Texas coast. I was looking at the names, and I recognized one other person that's fishing down here where I fish, and I would like more of you guys from down here to go ahead and enter. It's not really competing against other guys. It's really just competing against yourself and the fish, and then let the chips fall where they may, right? But I'm gonna start doing a lot more of these tournaments. The very, very first tournament I did 3 years ago, as a rookie, ended up winning the Redfish, and I think that was $1,000. So after that, I really haven't entered too many tournaments. There's not too many tournaments down here to enter. So I'm very thankful for Yakmasters. There's a guy, I can't remember his name, out of San Antonio that is doing these. And he's making one bass tournament every month and one redfish. Now, I would love to enter the bass. I haven't fished for bass in over 20 years. The closest lake is Falcon Lake, Falcon, but that's still 2 hours away from me. But I wouldn't mind going out there and trying to catch for some fish for some bass. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go through my comments. Thank you for all you guys that have been asking questions. I'll be fishing Saturday. So again, this is the first time I go live. I'm gonna try to do a live every Thursday night or Friday night. One thing about the tournament fishing or fishing in general, what I like to do is by Thursday, I already have the winds for the following Saturday. If it's too windy, of course you gotta alter your schedule, go somewhere else, somewhere where you're protected, especially on the kayak. Okay, so the first thing I do is start looking at the weather. This Saturday is gonna be gorgeous. If I don't catch any redfish on Saturday, that means I suck. We're gonna have winds starting off at 6 miles per hour, 6 or 7. That's gonna be perfect for the wake bait. And the highest the winds are gonna get are maybe 12, 13. So on a kayak, that's beautiful. Plus, we're gonna have a major feeding period from 9 to 11. Perfect timing. The fishing is from 6 to 3. Last time I fished maybe from 7 to about noon, and then I just called it a day because I was not fishing where I wanted to fish. I caught my 3 redfish, but they were all undersized, and I ended up with a big 0. I wish they would let us measure like 15, 16. I caught a 19 and a half red, but on the scoreboard it goes down as a big 0. So hopefully this time I can get into the... Well, first of all, I'm going to fish where I've been wanting to fish, where I've seen and been hitting the redfish. Now, hopefully they cooperate, and I'll stick with this plan. You go with a strategy, you stick with it. Don't start second guessing yourself. And that's why I'm just going to fish with maybe 4 lures, 4 or 5 lures, and stick to that. I'm not going to carry my... Like, for example, this past Saturday, I went fishing on a boat. I threw almost every lure I had in my bag, and we're talking about 15 to 20. But that was just... We were fishing in between bites, and sometimes you're just happy to be out there. But this time I'm just gonna stick with the wake bait, top waters first of all, and I'm gonna fish until I don't have any more. If I don't have any chasers, it's time to move on. But sometimes that's all I use. Wake bait. If they're biting, they're chasing, I'm sticking to it. Once that bite goes off, I'll go with a soft plastic, a paddle tail, or a paddle tail or the shrimp. I like doing the paddle tail. But this one I think is going to be money right here because there's a lot of wading. There's a lot of tailing redfish where I fish, and we're talking less than a foot of water. So you want something small with some scent on it already, and just plop it right in front of those redfish. Hopefully I can cook 1 or 2. And after that, I'd probably go with a paddle tail. And then popping cork. I love popping cork, and when I was looking at those tournaments this past week, I put the Elite Series. Most of the fishermen had popping corks with, and they had big ones too. They had big popping corks. They were making that popping cork. They were shaking it vigorously with. I think they had gulps. So, and then of course, the spoon. I'll fit. Like I told you, where I'm fishing, it's clear water. Lots of grass, but it's not floating grass where, like Port Mansfield, when I go fishing in Port Mansfield, the wake baits, sometimes you find that the wake bait is just, and Arroyo City, sometimes the wake baits. And I like fishing with the trebles, the treble hooks. I already destroyed my dip net, because these treble hooks just won't let go. Again, Texas Coastal Baits. Kevin Vada makes some nice baits. He'll paint anything you want, anything you want. So I'll fish with this until I have no more chasers, and then switch over to plastics, and then worms. I mean worms, plastics, popping corks, and spoon. And again, 6 to fishing from 6 to 3. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and put it here. Thank you for coming onto my live here. Like again, this is the first live I've done in maybe 2 years. So I'm gonna try to do more lives. I like. I'm gonna start telling y'all what my strategy is for the coming week, where I'm gonna fish, what I'm gonna use. Any questions before I go? I know this was pretty quick, 21 minutes. Um, Again, I'm going to be fishing the Yakmasters tournament, the Redfish tournament. There are at least 20 anglers, so that means they're going to be paying at least first and second. And then a big fish pot also, $60 for the tournament, 10 for the big fish pot entry. It's kayak. You can use electric motors, no gas motors, of course, and it's got to be a public access. Tomorrow there's going to be a captain's meeting, so you still have time to enter. I want a lot of you guys from over here from South Texas, go ahead and enter. You have time. What's the worst thing that can happen and lose $70? You're still going to go fish. And again, it's not really competing against the other people. It's really you competing against the fish. Got to get three fish in the kayak, and hopefully they measure up. They have to be from 20 to 28. Tomorrow it's the captain's meeting around 7 p.m. So go ahead and listen to the captain's meeting. I think that's the last time you can register. And let's go out there and have a good time. I mean, it's going to be a perfect day. Stay hydrated. It's going to be hot. I plan to stay out there till at least 2 o'clock. Hopefully I can get my fish in, catch my limit of 3 by maybe 9 or 10, and then just go from there. Just grind it out. Grind it and try to catch some bigger ones. So, any questions, guys? Again, I'm Rick from Rick's Rock and Reels. I have some videos that I've done. I've been fishing mainly down here in Port Mansfield, Port Isabel, South Padre Island, but I do want to expand myself up to the Corpus area. So any of you guys want to invite me and show me some areas, I'm not going to, I'll just fish like once or twice a year over there, so don't, if you tell me you're a honey hole, I'm not going to expose it. Falcon, I want to start bass fishing so I could enter one of these tournaments, the Yakmaster bass tournaments. They're getting bigger and bigger every month. So, but that's a 2-hour trek for me, lots of traffic, and but I'll see. I'll see what I can do. I'm gonna try to fish more tournaments. And again, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna try to edit this and make it into a long form. And if you have any questions, again, Rick from Rick's Rocking Wheels. I'm gonna start off right away at 6 o'clock with a black with red top water. Probably the spook until my wrist starts hurting, my arthritis acts up, and then it's all weight bait from there. Once I have no followers on weight baits, I'm gonna go to soft plastics gulp. I don't fish gulp too often. I used to, when they first came out, what was like 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, that's all I used. New penny under a popping cork, that's all I use, gulp. But now, as you get older, you start experimenting with all these baits that are coming out, and you get off the basics. So I'm basically going back to basics: top waters, gulp, paddle tail, and spoon. That's all I'll be tossing. My tackle box will be pretty empty, just with the basics. I'm gonna stay with the basics and see how it goes out. Again, I'll probably make a video. Last time I made a video of my first tournament last month, I caught 3 like I told you, but they didn't make the measurement, so I got a big goose egg, basically, last place, or tight. Well, actually, there were 7 guys that didn't catch a fish. It was a bad weekend weather-wise. But I'll make a video, probably it'll come out Sunday or Monday, and hopefully you come and see how it went. Let's see how the game plan went. Let's see if I stick to my game plan. Okay, so again, thanks for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live. And yeah, good luck to all the other guys out there fishing. Hopefully, you'll find a fish like I do, and we have a good time. Later. Let me see how if I know how to end.